There once was a man named Martin Luther King who made a speech proclaiming that I had a dream, which is why, as a wrestling fan here on YouTube, and of course off of YouTube as well, since, I had to watch wrestling off YouTube first before I talk about it here on YouTube, I have a dream. I have these dreams of seeing all these superstars go at it one day that have not gone at it before. Either they're superstars who, may not be able to wrestle anymore, or, may not have crossed paths yet, or someday, may have already crossed paths, but they put on the even better match. Both male and female. It's rocking crazy. It's just the stuff we want to see. And sometimes we are not disappointed, but sometimes we are disappointed, unfortunately. But of course, let's just sit back and let's discuss those as we give my top 10 special of the week. Top 10 WWE Dream Matches. Okay, that was just weird. Guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and yes, it is Friday afternoon, not Thursday night. Unfortunately, again, I was not able to do this special top 10 yesterday due to my hectic schedule, and I have somewhere to be tonight, so this is the only time over this week I was able to do this top 10 special. And thank you to the 5 people who voted on my my Twitter poll of which topic to do this week, as I wasn't sure which one to do. So I threw 4 topics out there, and it looked like we're going to have a tiebreaker. But then the last minute before the poll ended, somebody threw in a vote for this topic, top 10 dream matches. So that's what I'm going to do for this week, because for October, I'm going to do all the, the big, top 10s for, the women, since we're going to be having Evolution coming up in October 28th. That all women's pay-per-view, the first ever that, of course, WWE's talked about, 50 times per show the past several weeks. Well, for the month of October, I'll be doing, the top 10, best of the women, pretty much, top 10 champions, top 10 matches, top 10 women of all time. Maybe throw in a bonus one in there, but we'll see how it goes. I'll map out the schedule and share it on Twitter, of course, this week, of which topic I'm going to do each week for those. And then since I do the women, maybe in November I'll do the ones for the men. And then I will December, for my plan for my top 10 specials for December, I'll still do my usual one once a week. But I want to do some top 10s at the end of the year stuff. There may be multiple top 10 specials throughout the week. But I just want to get that quick announcement out there. But again, I only have a couple hours, so I have a party going to tonight. This is why I'm wearing my Taco Tuesday shirt. Yes, it's not Tuesday, but it's Friday. But I'm still going out to be having some Well, I'm going to my friend's house for his birthday, which was last week. But we're having a taco bar. So that's why I'm wearing my Taco Tuesday shirt right now, guys. But before we get started, let's check the live chat. See who's in the live chat. I'm not sure if anybody will be, because what's going to happen. It's Larry. What's up, Larry? It says it's Ruggiero Day. I just spelled my last name right, Larry, by the way. Everybody always spells it wrong for the first time. Nice hearing about oh, thanks, I got it. This is my big interview coming up on Monday. Don't want to screw this up. I'm going all out for this interview. So we got that. Big smile. Then we got Lauren saying, hey, nice haircut, Boo. Thanks again. Going all out for this interview on Monday. I have not screwed this one up. I'm getting this job on Monday. You hear me? I'm getting that job. So I'm looking good. My suit fits and everything. Just got to do my homework and just, think what I want to say for the interview questions when it comes. But again, we're not going to talk about that right now. I want to have some fun, get my mind off of that. So let's do top 10 dream matches. So the thing about I want to do for my list of top 10 dream matches, I remember I did do this, a dream matches special several months ago, but I kind of winged it. I kind of more so just just sat here, held my phone in my hand, looked at my, at all the superstars. I thought, you know what? I could see this guy face this guy. I felt like it was a little sloppy. So when whoever, probably Lauren, Dakota, maybe Larry, not sure, whoever made this suggestion, I thought, you know what? I'll do it again sometimes, except I will have an actual list of top 10s. Now, my thing was, of course, there's multiple people I want to see facing multiple opponents, in dream matches. But I did want to keep using the same people in these lists. So that's why for this top 10 list, I have, I say about 6 men's matches and about 4 women's matches. So I tried to, mix it up, get different names in here. So that is what my goal is to do with this this list. I'll check the live chat one more time before I get started. You'll do finally interview. Thanks, Boo. How about do too? Let's do it. Yes. So let's do that. And then I got to get ready to go eat some tacos. So anyways, let's get started with my top 10 list. My number 10. Now, this is the only match on this list that's kind of already happened. But even though I'm sure a lot of people probably disagree with me on this one because this match has been done how many times like on like an episode of Raw or SmackDown for free. And it did have a pay-per-view feud in 2016. There's still one match, even though we may not get it with these two at the level they were at when they both first came up to the main roster. There is still one match I want to see between these two guys. Again, I know this may not be a favorite at all. That's why I put it at my number 10. I felt we should have gotten this match at SummerSlam in 2016. But still, knowing the history of these two have great chemistry together, especially on pay-per-view matches and NXT, there was one match that I still to this day want to see happen between these two. They've had how many matches already on the main roster? But that's Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Now you can have the title on the line for this, like even like a main event title. Like this could be if done right. If we're getting the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens from NXT, this could be a WrestleMania main event. But I still want to see Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens in an I Quit match. How can we do it now? I mean, Sami Zayn is not. I mean, I know this match would most likely not happen at WrestleMania 35 because Sami Zayn's not going to be due back until like around then. Plus, two, I think the Bobby Lashley feud really brought down Sami big time. Of course, it didn't do anything for Sami, didn't do anything for Bobby either, of course, even though Bobby went on the feud with Roman Reigns, beat him, and then the following week lose to Roman, and that victory was like, who remembers that match? I'm not supposed to remember that at all. But again, I know this match has been done how many times on like Raw or SmackDown. So I'm pretty sure it's not as big of a deal as people, would want to see. Of course, they had, the pay-per-view matches at Payback. They were in 2016, they were part of the Fatal 4-Way at Extreme Rules, which that's definitely, in my opinion, a top 5 for match of the year candidate for 2016. Oh, shoot. I got to take this phone call. 1 second, guys. Sorry. Sorry about that. Can you guys still see me? My mom was calling me to let me know about a traffic accident for the route I'm taking tonight. So I just had to take that call really quick here. But yeah. So anyways, get back to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. That Fatal 4-Way at Extreme Rules was awesome. They had the match at Battleground, which was really great. Of course, I really felt since they put both Zayn and Owens on Raw, I thought, okay, it's simple. SummerSlam. This is where his feud culminates. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, I Quit. The loser goes to SmackDown, which would have been great for like Sami Zayn, of course, because I felt Sami Zayn would have taken away the victory. And you know what? Since Kevin Owens was supposed to feud for the Universal title, anyways, that fall, that could have had Kevin Owens, getting him in the direction of the Universal title and put Sami Zayn on SmackDown Live. And I'm sure with how great SmackDown Live was, we didn't know the time was going to be, Sami Zayn would really been benefit from being on SmackDown. Unfortunately, we did not get that. And again, even though, Sami Zayn come back, he could come back as a babyface, could return to his heel role. Who knows? They could do the roles reverse. Like if they did Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens roles reverse for this match, I'd be fine with it also. but I don't know how it would happen. But to me, like, of all, I mean, there's a couple other feuds, like, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins role reverse 3 stages of hell. I want to see that match, but of course that's not on this list, only because I have Seth Rollins down for something else on this list. I didn't want to use him multiple times. So this was kind of one I just kind of threw on there. Again, I know we see it how many times, but in my opinion, it's a match that I'd like to see happen if they can make it work someday, get it back onto the level they're both were at NXT. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens in an I Quit match. Could be a title on the line. Doesn't have to be. It could be, if, they both come back and, it could be like next fall, next summer or whatnot. And if they both stay on Raw, it could have this thing, oh, well, we can't stay on the same show or whatnot. Whatever storyline they come up there, move them there. So that's why I'm going to give this my not my number 10 on this list. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. I Quit. That's the match I want to see. Live chat. Let's see what will happen. Lauren's top 3 matches are Styles versus Bryan. That'd be awesome. Cena versus Joe. Ooh, I forgot to put that one on my list. That's an honorable mention. Orton versus Styles is one of them. HBK and Styles. Trish versus Sasha. And Lita versus Charlotte. I actually like the idea of Lita versus Charlotte. I mean, Charlotte and Trish wouldn't be a bad one either, but I feel like, Lita and Charlotte would be very similar. Tacos, yum. I like all the yums there, Lauren, for the yum. Yes, I can't wait also. Steph versus AJ Lee. Maybe talk about that one shortly. Orton versus Joe would be good. Jeff versus Cena I'd like to see. Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns with Roman finally as heel. Yes. I think Reigns has even said too, if you want me to be heel, put me against Daniel Bryan. Like that could be a WrestleMania main event. Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. A heel Roman Reigns is, because I'll give the credit, the match they had at Fastlane 2015, it was okay, but to me, it just felt like it was Vince McMahon kissing our asses, having Daniel Bryan becoming Roman Reigns' #1 fan, whatever you want to call him. Like I didn't like quite like that background. Owens versus Orton and Zayn versus Styles. We've seen them happen on a couple times on SmackDown, but if we're feud, sure, I wouldn't mind seeing them at all. Of course, my match with Sami Zayn and AJ Styles I enjoyed the most, though, was the match they had on Raw in 2016, where if Sami Zayn would have beaten Styles, he would have been inserted into the main event of Payback. Man, get that match, the underrated match, definitely. If I ever do like a top 10 like Raw special or top 10 Raw matches, I definitely would talk about that match. That match was unreal. Reigns as heel could make every match a dream match, just in his opinion. I completely agree with that, Larry. It would happen. Becky versus Asuka would be good. Mickey and Asuka. They had their match at TakeOver Toronto, which was good. Hopefully, maybe you try to get them on the main roster. Lita versus Becky, be a nice one. Trish and Charlotte. Michelle versus Charlotte. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Tori Wilson versus Kelly wouldn't be bad. Ooh, Lord, you mentioned a big one, but I will talk about that one later. Punk versus Styles would have been awesome if Punk was still around. And let me see here. Punk versus Bryan. Yes, I wanted to see Punk versus Bryan happen when I first started watching. Of course, they did have their feud in 2012, but I didn't get to see it because I wasn't watching that time. I've seen highlights of that feud. Yeah, I didn't expect that call. It was just random. It was, my mom was making me, because my mom was out. I was just making me aware there's an accident on the route that I'm going to be taking, and I had to go to my friend's house, so I had to take the call. No worries, Lauren. I completely like those ideas. Roman as a heel could actually put on good matches. Exactly. Again, Roman can put on good matches, but once again, as I always keep saying, Roman's booking is Vince McMahon going, screw you all. This is what we're going to do. That's just my opinion. Kyrie versus Asuka. Edge versus Rollins. Hell yes, take my money. That's not on my list, but that would be awesome. Batista and Joe would be good. Jeff and Seth. Jeff and Styles. Kyrie versus Asuka, definitely. And also, I don't know if you both saw her. Io Shirai. I can't remember how to pronounce it, but I did see her match against Zia Brookside on the Mae Young Classic. Again, I do think she's awesome. That could be a huge match also. I definitely agree. Miz versus Ambrose. Miz versus Ambrose wasn't bad, but yeah, they had their feud. I mean, I liked the winner on SmackDown. The one on Raw didn't feel quite as good, I feel. Maybe they can pull something else up, but not a bad pick right there, in my opinion. Sorry, I'm a Mae Young Classic mark now. That is women's wrestling. Of course, yes. That Mae Young Classic, the Mae Young Classic, again, is kicking ass so far this year. Thanks. Nikki versus Maria, maybe. Paige versus Lita, I'd like to see. Nakamura and Joe. Yeah, maybe Nakamura and Joe. They had good matches in NXT. It could have been a little bit better, but I thought they were still pretty good. I heard the one that they had in Australia in the steel cage was too good. Taker versus Joe, interesting. That would be an interesting one. Larry likes that. Beth and Trish, okay. Ambrose versus Roman. I do actually want to see a feud between Ambrose and Roman. Roman and Orton. Yeah, I mean, the match at SummerSlam, I will go back and watching it. It didn't start off too good. It ended, not bad, but I do think they could go at it again. Rock versus Orton, interesting. And Orton versus Stone Cold. Ooh, I like that. I didn't put Stone Cold on this list, unfortunately, but Cena and Stone Cold. Have we gotten... I never really thought of that one. Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin actually wouldn't be too bad of a match. Of course, no offense, but Stone Cold can really show Cena how to do that stunner. Because I hate to say it, but Cena does not do a good doesn't do a good job with that springboard stunner he sometimes does. I'm not really a big fan of that. But I'm going to keep it going here, guys. But I want to mention a few more actually before I go back to the live chat. Again, sorry about that phone call. I had to take it, but anyways. Let's continue to this list. Number 9. Now, here's the thing. I originally wanted to put this superstar versus The Undertaker. However, though, I'm not sure if The Undertaker is worthy of really putting on. I mean, again, all respect to the guy, future Hall of Famer, just not sure if this guy could still put on like a great match. Like, his match, the casket match I saw with Rusev was okay. The match is Cena, of course, was good, but it was a squash. So, I mean, I kind of feel like worried that, Taker might not be able to put on, as high of a caliber match as he could be. So that's why I didn't put him against this superstar. This one's a little bit like a weak pick also, I feel, but I feel like, these two could tell a good story based on their characters once this one comes to the main roster. And hopefully, if this guy, they stop booking this other guy as a smiling idiot who's just chilling inside his fun house, as, Vince McMahon is dreaming of doing so with this superstar. There's a feud recently with Constable Corbin. But I think Aleister Black and Finn Balor could put on an interesting feud. Kind of like, a feud that, we could have gotten from Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt, storytelling-wise, instead of just repeating it every single week of the same exact crap that literally went nowhere, almost led us to, the Pumpkin King and Bray Wyatt and drag at TLC. Again, it will not surprise me with, because they seem to kind of drop the ball again with the whole thing with Finn Balor and acting general manager Baron Corbin. But if they would try to pick this feud up again for TLC, don't be surprised if they try to go all out and say, "Oh, I dropped the mic of Mike on the floor." Don't be surprised if they actually have Vince McMahon go see now and say, "You know what? We're kind of doing the same thing we did for the Shield last year. Let's do the same thing for Finn Balor. I mean, he's just a smiling-looking idiot like this all the time. So why don't we have him do the match he was supposed to have at TLC last year instead of having it against Bray Wyatt and drag? Let's have Finn Balor taking on Baron Corbin, who could actually turn into a werewolf, like Professor Lupin from Harry Potter. We'll have the demon versus the lone wolf." I don't want to give any ideas of what's a problem. But anyway, so get off track here. A much better booked Finn Balor against Aleister Black could be an interesting match, I feel. Both these two have interesting styles. And I feel, Aleister Black, having that more of a darkness to his character. Yeah, he's a baby face, but he still has that mystique to him. Finn Balor as well with his the demon gimmick, and this could be, a heel Finn Balor taking on Aleister Black. And Finn Balor could, pushing, Black to, like, reach into his inner demons or something like that and try to bring a more dark side out of Aleister Black or something like that. Or it could be somewhat, of the opposite effect. Aleister Black could be the heel. He could be kind of doing that as well, to Finn Balor. I feel like, their gimmicks and, their styles could mesh well together, which is why these two, I think, could put on a good match, an interesting feud, if booked right, of course. Of course, let's say it this way. They would probably be able to pull it off with whoever's writing SmackDown Live. Now, again, I say that because who knows? Next year, they could, change up their creative team, and SmackDown Live could be back to sucking, and then Raw could be, at least bearable somewhat, because that's how it was last year. SmackDown Live was just, ugh. Put it this way. Raw's bookings has been much worse than what SmackDown Live was last year. But it wouldn't surprise me again if SmackDown Live went down the tanks next year, in my opinion. But yeah, Finn Balor versus Aleister Black. That's another dream match of mine. I have at number 9. Number 8, I believe Lauren mentioned this one in the live chat, and Larry really liked this one. But I even pitched this idea for Evolution. Now, I'll say it again. I mean, I didn't put it in my Evolution card, but I made a separate video talking about a match that could have happened at Evolution. Kairi Sane versus Asuka. Now, of course, Io Shirai, or I can't remember how to pronounce her last name. I heard it, but she put on a great match with Zia Brooks' side also. Now, we could add her in there, and this could be a triple threat. Triple threat for, the Women's Championship someday would be awesome. But, I chose Kairi Sane and Asuka because here's, again, what I said, could have happened. The reason why I had this match a little bit lower on here is because, one, Asuka's booking's gone really downhill. And two, I mean, although Kairi Sane has done great on NXT, they haven't built her up like as big of a deal as I thought they were going to build her up when she won the Mae Young Classic. I thought they were going to try to make her the next Asuka, which, that's okay. They didn't, because they're making Kairi her own thing on NXT. But my simple story idea was the fact that, since Kairi had the NXT Women's Championship and she's having her rematch with Shayna Baszler now Evolution, my idea I pitched was, if Asuka was still even if Asuka had a loss under her belt, but she is still on a strong level, pretty much, this match could have still worked. My idea was the fact that Asuka retired undefeated in NXT. Kairi Sane came in right afterwards, and Kairi Sane's now on top of the women's division. It could have that kind of the same feel that, again, it was sometime in early 2016. It was around the time I first started watching NXT full time. It was right after I subscribed to the network. It could be kind of like what it was with the match on NXT between Finn Balor, who was NXT champion, taking on former NXT champion Neville. The same feel. It's just, the champion proving that, this champion really does belong in the spot they're at. Finn Balor really was the icon of NXT. And he's, trying to, overcome, prove himself even higher by taking on and trying to defeat someone who was had a high ego as well in NXT as well, in Neville. This is Asuka claiming that, if I was still in NXT, you would not be where you're at right now. So while you prove yourself as a legitimate, champion and whatnot, and take on me, no title on. Heck, even if you wanted to pull a swerve here and try to put the title on the line, go for it again. I make it a little more obvious, of course, if that Asuka would lose. Of course, let's say if Asuka had not lost yet, this could have been where Asuka could have taken her first loss again. I'm fine with Asuka losing at WrestleMania 34. It's just what happened afterwards is I haven't been pleased with. But I think, that storyline there could be a great way to put on, hey, Asuka left, Kairi came in. They never crossed paths. Technically, Asuka says, if I choose not to retire, I could still be down there right now beating everybody. So I want you to prove that, you could have been the one to, beat me, pretty much. Again, the match could have happened at Evolution if Kairi didn't have to defend the title against Shayna Baszler. This match could have happened and had, just that thing where, Kairi's trying to prove, she's where she belongs and that, she's now the true face of the women's division in NXT, if you wanted to put it that far. it's just, my thought. I mean, you could have kind of done this if you want to do more better face and heel dynamics as Asuka's a face. You could have done this type of match also with, like, Bianca Belair whenever she becomes champion. It's obvious that Bianca Belair is probably going to be the one to dethrone Kairi Sane. I'd say either at War Games 2 or at TakeOver Phoenix, or what do they call the TakeOver in January. But that's why it's on my list here. Again, it's a little down lower because I would have liked to have seen, Asuka not go downhill. And 2, Kairi Sane, because I felt it isn't quite being built up as as big of a name as I thought she was going to be in NXT, but still so good. But it's like I feel like I just set my expectations for just a little too high. But I'm not disappointed with her either. But that is why that is on my list at number 8, Asuka versus Kairi Sane. Let's say what else we got in the live chat. Go check it out. I think we're right here. One question, Lauren. Ambrose as a heel or Roman as a heel when we get Ambrose versus Roman? I think, honestly, at this point, I think we're more likely to get heel Ambrose versus face Roman, unfortunately. But roles reverse. I wouldn't mind seeing that, of course. But I think we're more likely to be seeing Ambrose as the heel, I think, in my opinion. Ziggler and Styles would be amazing. They had some good matches on SmackDown. Ziggler and Styles. I wouldn't mind seeing them having like a pay-per-view match. Bryan versus Edge would be awesome. Braun Strowman versus Taker. Definitely, I would see the Braun Strowman now, not the Braun Strowman in 2015. We remember 2016, before he went off. Braun Strowman with the Y family versus Taker, no. Braun Strowman by himself versus Taker, yes. Who should be the heel in the match? Roman, we discussed that. Roman, of course, should be the heel. Lesnar and Stone Cold Steve Austin, maybe. Roman, Larry, okay, cool. Melina versus Becky, not bad. Melina versus Charlotte. Finn and Orton, that'd be a good feud also. Kind of like, of course, that he could be like a good target for heel Orton, pretty much. Orton trying to tear apart the Demon would be awesome storyline. Finn and Jeff, I agree. Finn and Cena, yep. Finn and Styles, they had a they did have, of course, Finn and Styles had their match at TLC last year, which was good, but I know they can do even better than what they did last year. It was good, but I know they can do even better. That's a WrestleMania worthy match. Lashley and Brock does need to happen. Seth and Bobby, I like that. Sasha versus Melina. Candice versus Brie, not bad. Larry's laughing at the fact that I dropped the mic of Mike. You're really calling it like that because it's the mic of Mike, and it's awesome. Yes, indeed, it is. Even though it's some cheap microphone I bought at a flea market years ago. Michelle versus Asuka, interesting. We still could get Kairi versus Asuka, maybe at some point, but I don't think we're going to be getting it at Evolution since Kairi's taking on Shayna at Evolution. Kurt versus Bryan, yes. Actually, I'm not even joking. My one friend works at a nearby Eaton Park, and one time he literally did, see Kurt Angle and chat with him for a little bit. Of course, I met Kurt back in January, and I just talked about his match at WrestleMania 21, but this is like, a couple of years before he came back to WWE. It's like 2 years ago. And apparently Kurt said, one person he'd like to face is Daniel Bryan. I'd say so. I didn't even think of that for this list. Kurt and Daniel Bryan. Yes, I know. Kurt did kind of show he's not really in the best shape when he was in the tag match at WrestleMania. Like, no offense, but of all 4 members, I thought he looked the weakest. But, still give it a shot. If Daniel Bryan was still GM of SmackDown, I'd say they could have done it at Survivor Series. GM versus GM. Of course, you can't do Paige versus Kirk as Paige is injured, and it would be, I don't know if that would be a good intergender match anyways, but they can still do something time down the line. Not Paige. Daniel Bryan versus Kurt Angle, maybe WrestleMania 35. We'll have to wait and see. Kurt versus Bryan. Bayley and Leah would be good. Styles and Bryan, yes. Io Shirai, Io just like Ronnie James Dio, and Sherry ending in I. Say it like the ending of the word lie. Shirley. I gotta hear it again to get it right again. But thanks for helping me out there, Larry. Nakamura and Joe. Ciampa versus Black. They had a great match on NXT recently. Also, we might seeing the match happen again. Finn versus Rey Mysterio would be a good one. Ronda and China, even though China's dead, wouldn't be a bad idea. DX versus The Shield. I definitely like that idea. Even it's not on my list, but Undisputed Era versus The Shield also. Goldberg versus Gilborg, JK. Oh gosh, that'd be funny. Team Hell No versus Evolution wouldn't be a bad idea. Legacy versus the New Day. Orton, Cody, and Ted versus New Day. Yeah, sure. DX versus Evolution. So it'd have to be Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and somebody else taking on like probably Orton, Batista, and Flair, because I don't think Triple H could play both roles there pretty much, but that would be interesting there for sure. Mickey, Lita, Trish, and Melina versus Becky, Bailey, Sasha, and Charlotte. Kind of like another, four horsewoman versus four horsewoman match. That actually is a pretty good idea. I actually like that one, Lauren, because they were probably, because it's, the ones who have, brought women's wrestling to where it is today against the ones who kind of started, the true era of women's wrestling or brought in the true art of women's wrestling 10 years ago. So that's actually a really good one. I really like that one, Lauren. Cena, Orton, Taker versus Taker, Lesnar, and Triple H. How is there two Takers in there? That'd be strange. But sorry, I meant Lesnar, Triple H, and Stone Cold. Okay. You really met Kurt Angle? Yep, I did. I made a video on my channel. I met him back in January. Again, I talked with him about the WrestleMania 21 match. Yes. So far, again, I've met Daniel Bryan in 2016, 2 weeks before he retired, and the day after he apparently found he had retired. I met him. I met AJ Styles in 2017, and I met Kurt Angle. Those are the 3 I've met so far. Hopefully that will change if there's someone worthwhile seeing at the World Wheels Convention in Pittsburgh in January, as there usually is. And also, since I'm still talking about going to WrestleMania with a couple friends next year. So it's still possible that's going to be added to the list. Styles versus Orton versus Cena versus Bryan versus Joe versus Taker versus HBK versus Triple H. Man, Lord, you're going up and beyond on these dream matches with these multi-person matches. But that would be a stacked match. Versus Rock versus Stone Cold, Evolution versus Taker and Kane, Evolution versus Destruction, sure. Flair's thinking of a lot. Keep them coming. It's interesting. I have to search for your video with Angle. I mean, yeah, go to my playlist for a dream specials and tops and my special and streams and other topic videos. You'll find one with Bryan, the one with Styles, and the one with Kurt Angle. I mean, just the photos. I know the one with Bryan, the audio out of sync, but that's when I was using my editing software on my crappy Lenovo, and now I have my Mac, which editing software works a ton better on it there. But definitely go check those videos out. They're definitely awesome. Let's see here. Finn versus Rollins versus Bryan versus Edge versus Styles versus Orton. Wow, geez. That would be, again, Lauren, you're coming with a lot of these great multi-man matches, which actually would be pretty darn good. No worries, Lauren. You have a lot. Definitely keep them all coming, guys. Don't stop. But thank you guys as always. But let's continue on here because I still have about 2.5 hours till I have to leave. Well, actually, about 2 hours still have to leave. Maybe a little bit earlier now. Since I have to take a back way. Anyways, but number 7 on my list here. Now, I got this idea because my one friend talked about it in his predicted match card for Evolution, even though it most likely won't happen. And I don't know if this match ever will happen, but I think that history is there and needs to happen. I believe Lauren mentioned it a little earlier. Excuse me. But this match, AJ Lee versus Stephanie McMahon. Man, really, AJ Lee, who obviously during the Divas era, well, the PG era, the Divas era, of course, past the Beth Phoenixes, the Michelle McCools, well, when Mickie James was gone for the 7 years she was gone, and a few others. Obviously, before Paige came, AJ Lee was probably one of the only biggest names up on the main roster. Of course, the Bella Twins as well, but of course, I talked about them in my topic video last night. How the Bella Twins have their success, but they're still, I feel, not as big of a deal as the WWE makes it seem like they are sometimes, especially recently. well, that's because they want Nikki to face Ronda at Evolution, which I feel is not a good idea. But anyways, obviously, AJ Lee was one of the best, female talents when she was around. And obviously, Stephanie McMahon is good at generating that heat because we've seen her, on screen bash how many people on live TV, even though the fact that, not too many of them will be able to get their comeuppance on her at all whatsoever. One second, just answering this. But anyways, getting way off track here. But these two have had their history together. They've crossed paths here and there. And of course, there's others like Sasha Banks and Stephanie McMahon would be a good one. Bayley shutting up Stephanie McMahon, heel Stephanie McMahon would be awesome as well. Of course, we just had Ronda do it. But AJ Lee's like that's of all people we want to see, go after Stephanie McMahon, it would be AJ Lee. And I think that if AJ Lee would ever make her way back with, what's happened with her husband, with Punk and whatnot, I think that'd be awesome. Heck, I'm glad to say this, a mixed tag match. CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. Like that would be a pretty good mixed tag match right there with the history, the heat between those four. I think that would be a kick-ass match if we ever saw that again, which we most likely will not because Punk is most likely – at this point, I'm 95% sure Punk's not coming back. And AJ Lee, I feel we, if anything, we'd be more likely to see AJ Lee again. Or, I'm sorry, it cracks me up, but I've heard in interviews, CM Punk calls AJ Ape because her real name is April. He calls her Ape. When he says Ape, I think it's some big, hairy-looking guy. I don't see, like a 5'1", skinny girl being called Ape. Just cracks me up. But I think, AJ Lee and Stephanie McMahon, or even CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H would be one hell of a match with all the heat and the story behind it. So that's why it's my number 7 on this list. Number 6. I believe I mentioned the idea for this match in my NXT review this week. I thought of this match after seeing the tag team match we saw on NXT, even though the thing is the tag team this one guy is a part of, it's way too soon to split them up. Even though I feel like hopefully they're going to get them back on track. Because I feel like this tag team kind of fell off a little bit after they had that awful match. Again, I'm going to talk about NXT. Again, there's only one match I did not like on NXT, and that was the Street Profits versus AOP in that Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic match. I thought they just made the Street Profits look like idiots in that match. And once again, I just felt like, AOP was just starting to overstay their welcome in NXT at the time. But anyways, so they had Street Profits had a great match this week against the Mighty. I really liked their match. Again, it reminded me of a match against like the Revival or something like that. That's what the Mighty reminded me of this week. But again, Montez Ford obviously has a ton of potential. Like Angelo Dawkins is not bad, but Montez Ford, my goodness, when he's in that ring, he's just killing it and tearing it up. And then it made me think of somebody else who's in NXT right now, who is also tearing it up, that I think is going to be having a lengthy run with one of the championships. Now, again, I don't know. Again, I want to see the Street Profits, be a little, there's so much more mileage they can do in the Street Profits. But even if, the Street Profits are still together and they want to have Montez Ford take on this person, I think this would be an awesome mid-card match at least. Could be a main event match even also for like, a main event championship. Could even main event WrestleMania for all we know. But a match that I thought of this past Wednesday that I would want to see someday is Montez Ford versus Ricochet for the NXT North American Championship. Like, if they have Ricochet go on a long reign, like maybe to like, WrestleMania week, or even like, it's like, whatever next summer's takeover is going to be before, and not SummerSlam, the weekend of Money in the Bank. Even if, the Street Profits are still together, I feel somebody very worthy of taking that championship off of Ricochet could definitely be Montez Ford. Again, these two, they're high-flying styles. They're quick. They're agile. They both do unbelievable things that not too many people in the ring can do. And to make, Ricochet's already made that North American title a very prestigious match. He had, of course, win a title for Adam Cole, a great match at TakeOver Brooklyn 4. He recently had that great title match against Pete Dunne, even though it ended with the Undisputed Era, interfering. But we're going to have a triple threat in the upcoming weeks with Adam Cole, Ricochet, and Pete Dunne. Could be awesome. Again, I'll probably be able to do a lot of reactions to those. I'll probably be able to watch NXT live, or I maybe, who knows, I'm not sure yet. Depends on what's going on with, Survivor and whatnot. Anyways, but I really think that could be one hell of a match, whether it's for a championship or not someday. Montez Ford versus Ricochet. Damn, take my money now. That would be pretty darn awesome. But that's my number 6 on this list. So far, before I check the live chat again, 10-6. Number 10, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, I Quit. Number 9, Aleister Black versus Finn Balor. Number 8 is Asuka versus Kairi Sane. Number 7 is AJ Lee versus Stephanie McMahon. And number 6 is Ricochet versus Montez Ford. Let's check the live chat once again. Let's see here. We have Orton versus Cena versus Styles versus Bryan. That would be a good fatal 4-way. We don't want to keep you. What do you mean by we don't want to keep me? I'm not sure. AJ Lee, yes. Stephanie and AJ needs to happen. Imagine her coming back at Evolution. Would be awesome, definitely. AJ versus Mickey would be great. The Bella Twins and the Iconics, yes. I want to see it. I think that should be a feud. I mean, my one friend even suggested having them have a match at TakeOver Evolution instead of having Nikki face Ronda. I'd be cool with that. The pop for AJ would definitely be amazing. I agree. Did I just actually? Yes, I did just get the notification that Evolution will be at SmackDown Live 1000. So we will be seeing not just the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, not just the Viper, Randy Orton, not just the Game Triple H, but for the first time since he walked out on Monday Night Raw, the night that Seth Rollins turned on the Shield, for the first time we will be seeing this man. Since he did that, he waved goodbye. Batista is returning. Could this for SmackDown Live 1000, could this mean, Batista maybe getting that one last run he's been asking for WWE, which I think I would like to see Batista get one last run. Because again, I feel bad the fact that, he kind of got a little bit of like a bad rap for what happened in his previous run. But again, going back here to see, everything he was able to do before he went away to Hollywood, in 2010, he deserves one more good run. So just give it to him, WWE. Even if at WrestleMania 35, like he pitches the idea about working a program with Triple H, and to me it makes sense because Batista didn't get what he wanted, and Triple H told him he wasn't going to get what he wanted. That's what led him to quit. What if we had that simple storyline, giving them one last match? Could be Batista's retirement match. I mean, either way, he doesn't have to win. It doesn't matter if he wins or loses it. It's his last match. It's the way he wants to go out on a bang. So, that could be your WrestleMania match for WrestleMania 35 with Triple H. Because honestly, I'm really starting to run out of ideas for people I want to see face Triple H, in my opinion. I mean, I'm sure there's a few others, like, maybe Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, but there's not too many more. So why not do Batista and Triple H at WrestleMania 35? Go for it. Let's see here. Orton versus Cena versus Roman and Dean. Interesting. Oh, no, sorry. Orton and Cena versus Roman and Dean. That'd be interesting. She wants to see Triple H and Stephanie versus Punk and AJ. She agrees. Lita and AJ would be awesome. That would be dope. Mike would be too much of reality. I agree. Rock and Ronda versus Steph and Triple H. Yes. Stone Cold and Becky versus Charlotte and Styles. Ooh, that is awesome. That's amazing, Lauren. You're awesome. I love you. You too, Larry. I love you too, man. But Sandy versus the Wyatts versus AOP. That'd be interesting. I mean, I thought maybe Sandy versus the Wyatts, but of course, that's how many times you're going to split up the Wyatt family and put them back together, and randomly split up again, put them back together and whatnot. But that if the Wyatts book better, wouldn't be a bad idea. Rusev and Joe kind of got that recently. Recently on SmackDown, it was an all right match. maybe give them another shot. Maybe they'll do a little bit better. Not a bad idea though. Rusev and Joe. He's saying Ricochet. Maybe he must have been guessing who who that opponent was going to be for my number 6. Usos versus the Club. They put on a pretty good match, I thought, when they first feuded. Sheamus and Joe would be different. Oh yeah, Larry's happy. I said Ricochet and Montez Ford. Black versus Cole. They had the Extreme Rules match at TakeOver Philadelphia earlier this year. It was awesome. Wouldn't mind seeing them have another match again. We definitely should be getting Drew versus Dolph eventually. Lashley and Lesnar, yes. Triple H versus Vince McMahon. Oh gosh, no, have it. Triple H kicks Vince McMahon's ass to take full control of the company. Yeah, Larry's like, oh god, please keep the old man out of the ring. Unless you want to see him get his ass whooped, I'd say maybe. Lashley versus Batista would be interesting. Ricochet versus Cole. They already had their match at TakeOver. Brooklyn 4. It was awesome. We might see a rematch though, but they definitely set the bar really high with that match. Owens and Triple H, yes. We don't want to keep you from dinner. Again, I don't have to be at my friend's till 7:30. But now I might leave a little bit earlier, probably around like 6:45 because I have to take a different way to avoid traffic. But you're not keeping me, don't worry. Wait, is it real? Oh my god! I think we're talking about Verna Evolution. Yes. Lesnar versus Batista, sure. I'm definitely watching SmackDown Live 1000 also. I just did a Batista entrance a few days ago, by the way. I saw it. I didn't get to check the video up. I will check that out, Larry. Again, what I was talking about, by the way, to clarify, what I was talking about in the live chat, not in the live chat, in the comments section, was Jericho's entrance in 2016 was priceless because he would come walking out with the list and he'd have his hand just like, with a disgusted look on his face. Like that's just pure heel Jericho there. That's what I meant when I was talking about that. But your entrance was awesome also you did for Jericho. Definitely, anybody else hasn't seen that video, definitely check out Larry's channel to see that entrance as well. He loves Batista. Yeah, Batista is awesome. I think we'll see Tori and Cena at SmackDown Live 1000. It's possible. Yeah, Batista and Triple H, one last match should happen. Hardys versus DX. Ooh. Matt and Jeff versus Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Take my money, Lauren. Here comes a stupid one. Peter Parker versus Charlotte Flair. With a huge moment where Peter says that, of course, Robbie says, oh, look at little Flair Jr. Gonna cry? Sure, why not? Let's do it. Let's do it, Larry. I love it. We got String Magician. What is up? He said AJ versus Velveteen Dream. I actually didn't even think of that one, but sure, I'd like to see that one. Ricochet versus Rey Mysterio. That's a new one. I like that. Velveteen Dream versus Bryan. Yes, Mysterio and Finn would be awesome. Jericho and Bryan. Yeah, definitely bring it back. They could. They've had a few matches here, but I don't know if they've actually had a feud. They could have actually had like a feud because since Chris Jericho was the one had a history of Chris Jericho and Daniel Bryan had that great match back in 2010 on NXT or whatever. The reality show NXT, not what we got today for NXT, but yeah, I could bring some history back off of that. I think that'd be a good feud with Bryan and Jericho. Thanks a lot, Mike. Sure thing. Jericho and Styles. Jericho and Styles, they had their good sequence of matches in 2016. Wouldn't mind seeing them have another one. Lauren loves my math. My math. Wow. My laugh. Sure thing, Lauren. Awesome. Glad I can make you laughing. Everybody's laugh about that. Jericho and Trish versus Steph and Triple H. That'd be interesting. Based off their history, I think that'd be good. Orton and Mickey versus Styles and Becky. Interesting pairing, but wouldn't be a bad mixed tag match. Cena and Tori versus AJ and Punk. Okay, I like these mixed tag matches, Lauren. Very creative. Thank you guys, and also to a String Magician also for the AJ and Velveteen Dream idea. But I want to keep things going here because I do have to leave probably about an hour or so, so I want to keep it going here, but definitely, guys, keep them coming. You guys doing awesome. This is a fun stream. Just about 2 more hours so I go get my tacos. Anyways, let's move it along here. By the way, speaking of tacos, guys, I pitched this idea a couple weeks ago at a wedding I worked at. There was a buffet there, and I actually put meatballs on a taco. A meatball taco, you can't go wrong there, guys. Italian with a hard shell, let's do it. Anyways, let's get to the top 5. My number 5 is, of course, the match that we should be getting at Evolution instead of the one we're going to be getting. Sasha Banks versus Trish Stratus. The match was teased in the Women's Royal Rumble earlier this year. I got chills. You got Trish Stratus, as you know, of course, in my opinion, the best women's wrestler of all time, my opinion, is Trish Stratus. And you have Sasha Banks, who, when she has like her heel, boss character from NXT, I really think those two could put on a great feud, like, promos back and forth. The matches could definitely be awesome as well. We're getting Trish and Alexa. I'll give it a chance. Again, it could still be not bad of a match, but it's obvious, the match more people want to have it at Evolution, an opportunity like this, is Sasha and Trish. Again, it'd be so easy to write, I feel, in my opinion. Again, with Trish Stratus being herself as the babyface, Sasha Banks being the heel with the boss characters she had from NXT, definitely, not playing around. She doesn't have friends when it comes to the title or the main event scene. This could be like Sasha and Trish could main event Evolution if they wanted to. Not gonna happen. It's probably gonna be Ronda and Nikki, even though I still feel the main event should be Becky and Charlotte, last woman standing, or like Street Fight or some other stipulation. But still is the point we're not getting this match at Evolution. But I do feel that this match should have happened instead. Sasha Banks versus Trish Stratus. Trish is a little older now, but she can still go in the ring pretty well. She's not too bad. Also, quick shout out also to, we were talking about the Mania Classic earlier, Deonna Purrazzo. Thank you for liking my tweet, Deonna. You're amazing. You're one of my favorite upcoming talents. Also on the Mania Classic. But anyways, want to get that plug out there to Deonna. Yeah, my number 5, which I think is the last women's match on this list. Yes, my top women's match I want to see, in my honest opinion, is Sasha Banks versus Trish Stratus. That is my number 5 on this list. Number 4. Now, I talked about this kind of last week. Even though it was during my top 10 stream about Shawn Michaels, where I was kind of tired and wasn't really the most peppy. Even Larry saw it when he watched it, which I do apologize about not being too peppy. I was extremely tired. That's why I took a nice long nap today. I dropped off my friend's sister at school to make sure I was more energized for this stream and for the tacos. And we're probably playing Mario Kart all night on the Wii. But anyways, so I mentioned that even though the biggest dream match, I'm sure, for most of us, for Shawn Michaels, is definitely AJ Styles. There's still somebody else I feel that, really I shouldn't say turn things around, but really has, reminded me a lot of Shawn Michaels this year, that I feel like this would be a match that could be mind-blowing that nobody would see coming out of anywhere pretty much. Because I feel that this guy, with the character he's portraying in the cruiserweight division right now, could easily, mesh up very well with Shawn Michaels. And that's why my number 4 dream match is Mustafa Ali versus Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, Mr. WrestleMania, for most of the last 7 years of his career, wasn't really feuding much for the title. Here and there he'd be in a title feud, but Shawn Michaels showed us that he didn't need to have a championship to put on classic matches. And he just showed all the heart, fighting through, any obstacle he had to, just being the typical, baby face, just being the guy we can easily get behind. And I feel with the character Mustafa Ali has developed this year since Triple H took over, his style of wrestling, the hard hits he's taking from guys like, Buddy Murphy, Hideo Itami. He had great matches with Drew Gulak, Gentleman Jack Gallagher, also in the Cruiserweight Championship match. I've always loved Mustafa Ali. I've always, even before Triple H took over, I always thought this guy has so much potential, but he was being wasted because the Cruiserweight division was just the low card division until Triple H took over. I still, though, think that, besides like AJ Styles, Mustafa Ali will definitely be my second pick for a dream match for Shawn Michaels, as I said last week. Again, this guy, the character, the in-ring style, he's the heart of 205 Live. Why not have him take on the Heartbreak Kid himself? I think it would be a great match. It could be for a mid-card or a world title match someday. Even though that's not going to happen because Shawn Michaels, even though the rumors he's going to be wrestling in a tag match at Crown Jewel. And I keep hearing rumors there could be one more match for him. Maybe him and the Undertaker one more time, not sure. I mean, maybe I'll do it with him and AJ Styles. Not sure if that'll happen. Of course, AJ Styles is on this list, but it's with somebody else. Again, I was going to say AJ Styles versus Shawn Michaels, number one. But one, that is too obvious. And number two, I still, even though, AJ Styles and Shawn Michaels is a match that must happen, a match that could be even not as possible, but I would still love to see happen is Shawn Michaels versus Mustafa Ali. I think, again, that similar styles. Again, they have literally, the similar characters that I feel like, keep it face on face. Just them being, themselves can easily make this an instant classic. So I would love to see that match happen someday. Mustafa Ali versus Shawn Michaels. That's my number 4. Number 3, this probably could, I feel Ali and Michaels could have been maybe one more higher than this one, but I already have it set in stone. But number 3, a match that we're dying to see, that we would just pull the trigger on it and turn this guy heel. The Rock versus Roman Reigns. The story sets itself in stone. It's perfect. Their family and whatnot. They could have, done this at WrestleMania 31. Again, where credit is due, I still thought Brock and Roman put on a good match at WrestleMania 31. That's their only good match I thought they put on. Even not including the Seth Rollins cash, I still thought those two put on a physical, brutal match, like just what I wanted to see. Since then, we put on matches that, it looks like, okay, no one wants to see it, so we're just going to BS anyways. Screw you. Anyways, but they could have done this so easily at WrestleMania 31. They could have had, Roman Reigns, getting all the boos and whatnot for winning the Royal Rumble. They could have had, him lose a spot to Daniel Bryan or somebody else. And then, or going as far as let's say if, The Rock would have been there, or, The Rock didn't have to be at WrestleMania 31. Like, Roman Reigns could have been upset by the cash in of Seth Rollins, but he could have blamed The Rock for, trying to steal his spotlight, and just being jealous of the fact that, people are, are more over for that. Feeling like, claiming that, WrestleMania, all Roman had to do was say WrestleMania could have been my moment, but you guys didn't want that to happen. That's how he could turn heel back in 2015. Yes, he's trying to, say he doesn't care about the fan, what they think and whatnot. I just want to be me. Well, if you claim that, you being a babyface is you just being you, then, why is your feuds not feeling natural? Why do they still feel forced? And of course, easily you can turn heel and face The Rock, who's going to knock some sense into you about respect pretty much and where you should really be. That it's simple and straight to the point. They could do this match at WrestleMania 35, 36, who knows? The Rock, obviously, this match has to happen at some point. The Rock is always in great shape. I know he's just busy with, with Hollywood and whatnot, which good for him. Glad he's doing awesome with that. But this match needs to happen. And with Roman being the heel, do not under any circumstances make this be, two big egos going at each other at the end. Oh, I respect you. You're awesome. Thank you for all this. No. No. And when I talk about that, I'm referring to what happened after the WrestleMania 29 match, which again was the last big opportunity to turn John Cena heel. Again, I've heard rumors that they were planning on doing it, having John Cena be the one to turn heel on The Rock. They had gears apparently set, but then I guess around that same time, there was some big Kmart deal that WWE struck with them, and turning John Cena heel would, have the deal fall flat. So I guess that's why they didn't go with it. But that was probably, again, the last time you had your biggest opportunity to turn John Cena heel. What else was that? Oh, I talked about before with Daniel Bryan I'm just holding the mic here awkwardly, with Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns in 2015. And not bad match at Fastlane, but, that promo that Bryan cut the night after, pretty much just, he was acting like, us. Like, Vince's like, oh, you all were just like going, boo, boo, boo. Well, that's how Daniel Bryan was going too. But now Daniel Bryan agrees that Roman Reigns is the greatest of all time. So, why don't you guys love it? No, I'm sorry. Let me start that over again. Oh, so, we had your lover boy Daniel Bryan go out there and say exactly how you guys feel. Boo, boo, we don't want him there. We don't want him there. But no, he lost to Roman Reigns, and he is the greatest of all time. He can't wait to team with Roman Reigns later on in a 5-on-2 handicap match. Seriously, again, I love Daniel Bryan, but that was my least favorite promo by him, was when he came out and pretty much just like kissed Roman Reigns' ass, pretty much down. He's like, he's so great and whatnot. Again, if you wanted to do that, you should have done that at the Royal Rumble that year. Have it come down to Ziggler, Ambrose. I always say this. It should have came down to Ziggler, Ambrose, Bryan, and Roman. The final four for the 2015 Rumble. And yes, Roman could have eliminated Bryan, shake hands. Would have been a much more satisfying ending to swallow. Okay, it happened. Don't troll with us. Like, have Bryan be eliminated so early, say, we know it hurts, and then have Goldust come out to shatter dreams right afterwards, and then have Daniel Bryan, and then have just like a feud between Roman and Bryan, just to just to kiss ass over just kiss ass that just to kiss ass to us. This would make us like, no, it did not work. It did not work. And sorry, but I have to take these texts really quick here. Just something for work. Well, for my freelancing stuff I do. Got that. Got it taken care of. Anyways, okay. Sorry. Even distracted here for stuff on my phone. Got this, a lot going on. Okay, anyways. So, but yeah, I pretty much went a little off on a Roman Reigns rant on this video again. I'm sorry about that, guys. But Rock, Reigns has to be the heel. And again, do not make it that whole thing of like, big egos going at each other, and afterwards, I respect you, you're awesome, thank you very much. If that happens, then I will do this. And as I always say, even though this is a little TMI, I have not done that in almost 13 years. And I only say that because if any of you Seinfeld fans may know the episode where Jerry shares that he hadn't thrown up in 14 years. And you remember the exact date. And I do too. But because I'm a Seinfeld fan, I gotta be like, yeah, I haven't thrown up since November 3rd, 2005. It's in front of the janitor's office. Not going to go there. We're getting way off track here. Anyways, though. But yes, Roman Reigns, The Rock, don't do the whole thing. They respect each other. And also, we talk about getting sick. So that's what we learned from this number 3. Before I get my final 2, let's check the live chat once again. Let's see. We got this. Where were we at? Where were we at? I think we were at the awesome laugh part. Yeah, right here. Charlotte Flair versus James Ellsworth list. There were rumors apparently that they were thinking about doing that match at WrestleMania 34. I did hear a rumor before Ellsworth left back in October. This first run, there were rumors that they were going to do that match. No, again, that could be, a pay-per-view match if you want for shits and giggles, but no, not at WrestleMania. Larry, no thanks. Tacos, yes, enjoy the night. I will. Tacos and Mario Kart. Tacos are Lauren's second favorite. Awesome. Trish versus Becky versus Sasha versus Lita. That'd be interesting. Yeah, Sasha and Alexa are both injured. Alexa versus Carmella would be different. Natty versus, I have my hand off the desk. Natty versus Ronda will happen sometime. That one definitely will happen. Lucky Mike, Deonna Purrazzo. Yes, definitely. I love the winky face there too. And as Larry says, damn. Sasha and Trish is way more interesting than Alexa and Trish. I agree. HBK versus Styles. Yes. HBK versus Bryan needs to happen. And I do look a lot more fresh today, Larry. Kane and Joe, maybe. Neville and HBK. Yes. HBK is the greatest WWE star of all time. I definitely agree. He's definitely at least that or the top 5. Cody versus Dolph. I like that one to be a good one. Bryan versus Styles. She thinks Bryan versus Styles is my number 1. Let me say this again, as I said at the beginning of this video. Well, actually, I won't give away too far yet. It may be, it may not be. Again, I did not do any repetitions here. Each name one time. But maybe, maybe not. We will see who my number 1 is. And number 2, we still got those. Naomi and Becky wouldn't be too bad. Roman versus Rock. She says, no thanks. Well, again, if it's face Roman and face Rock, no thanks. It's going to end up like Roman and Cena, Roman and Lashley, Cena and Rock Part 2. No, again, it has to be heel Roman versus The Rock. Ambrose and Stone Cold would be interesting. Another triple threat versus The Shield? Sure. I wouldn't mind seeing again that the one at Battleground 2016 wasn't bad, but with not having Roman a part around Russia because of the suspension, I just didn't what am I thinking here? Oh yeah, I just didn't think the build could have been a little bit better since Roman wasn't around because of the suspension. So I definitely wouldn't mind seeing a Shield triple again. There are about 5 big dream matches planned for HBK, but I forgot what JD said about it. Sorry, no worries. About HBK, Miz and Dean. Again, maybe not one of the biggest dream matches. We've already seen that match happen, but they tried again, something different maybe. Why you say no Roman Reigns versus Rock, Lauren? I mean, if Reigns is the heel, of course, just asking. Yeah, again, they could turn the Rock heel instead of Roman. Wouldn't surprise me if they did do that. Not interested in Rock versus Roman. I love Rock, but she can't stand Roman. Cena was supposed to turn heel on Rock, but WWE changed their mind. He wanted to be honest. Yeah, like I said, I heard the rumor that they literally had gear merchandise ready for a heel John Cena. But again, there was some Kmart deal that apparently came out involving Cena, and that's when they pulled the plug on it or something like that. That's what the rumor I heard. If they really try to do this with Roman as babyface, this company will die. People will just leave. I agree. Cena apparently wanted to turn. They'll do it too. That's why I'm interested in Roman versus Rock, because we know Roman will be the face and Rock the heel. That is true. Bryan should have won the 2015 Rumble. He should have. The story was there. They booed Roman. Oh, yes, they did. What's up, Bowl of Eyes? Larry says, if they shock us all and do it, Roman is heel, you would die to see it happen. I definitely agree. 2015 was one of the worst years in her opinion. Could have had so many good stories, but no, I do agree. They even booed The Rock in 2015. Yes, Ball of Eyes, they did. Again, that showed that, even having The Rock come out just for one night to save Roman, just randomly, and just do nothing afterwards with it, was obviously just a kiss of that. They knew no one was going to be happy Roman won. And again, the thing was, to even if, it's not the fact that Roman won, but they made it so predictable. No one else came out of that match looking strong. Nobody. You have Big Show and Kane dumping out the trash. You turn the last. I mean, yes, we didn't realize that Rusev was still in the match because he had been laying outside the ring for how long. But they literally turned the ending of the Royal Rumble match into a segment from Raw, with Kane and the Big Show attacking Roman Reigns. Like, seriously, you really think we're going to want to see Big Show or Kane versus Brock Lesnar in the main event of WrestleMania that year? No offense to Show and Kane, but it's like, no. And they literally just dumped out Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose, Dolph. Like they just knocked them out, picked them up, and just literally they're dumping out trash. When I do worst matches of all time, that one eventually will happen. Don't be surprised to hear about that match. Roman as a heel needs to happen, but it's never going to. Lauren's starting to say, I'm starting to believe that too. They booed Roman because he raised Roman's hand. Rock and Stone Cold versus Roman and Dean. That'd be interesting. Lauren loves Mario Kart. You okay? I'm good. Trish versus Lita versus Sasha versus Becky. Be another interesting one. Mario Kart is great. Unfortunately, the most experience I've had playing Mario Kart though. I mean, I play it at a couple friends' houses, but the only edition I have on it is on this guy right here. Game Boy Advances. Remember these guys? And actually, oh no, it's Harry Potter is in my Game Boy Advance now. I really pull it out and play it here and there. I haven't played in a while, but who knows? Probably playing Mario Kart tonight's going to be wanting me to play Mario Kart on my Game Boy Advance again. Show versus Braun. Yes. Show and Braun. Again, I give them both so much credit. They had 3 really good matches last year. Like Big Show was one of the biggest, him and even Roman Reigns really helped put over Braun Strowman last year. I give them both credit. Of course, now Roman's bringing Strowman back down, of course, but that's for another day. That 50 ending sucked the life out of everyone. Well, again, here the arena was dead. Here's my facts from the 2015 Rumble match. That night, I wasn't subscribed to the network yet. That night, it was snowing really bad here. The only way for me to watch the Rumble was to go to my friend Dan's house to watch it. And he said, if you don't feel safe driving, don't worry about it. Like, you know what? You're only 10 minutes away. I'll be fine. I went as soon as Daniel Bryan was eliminated. Like, we were all pumped. And then we all just like I remember when Bryan was eliminated, I was just like, my friend was like the fumes were building up. Like, from that moment on, we didn't give a single shit. We were just angry. And then worse off, I had to drive home in 6 inches of snow that night. Yeah, I can't blame WWE on that because that's on me for still going for snow. But still, it's like, that night just sucked. I mean, it sucked really bad. And I do agree. Like the Bryan elimination was suck the life out of it most. Sorry, I gotta answer this text. Anyways, but yeah, that I definitely agree with that there, Larry. Lauren says I have it on N64. She used to. That's cool. Love Harry Potter. Yes, Harry Potter is awesome as well. By the way, Mike, do you feel different now that you're 25? Stupid question. No, actually, to be honest, yes, I have been feeling different being 25. Don't want to get too deep, but 24 was a little bit of a rough year for me. There was just some stuff that I went through that I just wanted to put behind me, but nothing like bad and severe. Just basically went through a breakup and, just trying to work towards getting, somewhere else in my career, which could be with this job interview on Monday. But 25 has been a blessing in disguise for me so far. Let's put it that way. Thank you for asking me that, Larry. Daniel Geiza. Yep, Daniel Geiza. He's my good friend. I've known him for like about 6 years now. Yeah, he's the one who actually helped me get into wrestling, actually. Best matches in 2015 was Brock versus Rollins versus Cena. Oh yeah, best match at Royal Rumble. Yes, definitely. That was the only the only reason to go back and watch Royal Rumble 2015 is for that match. That match was awesome. That match I felt was what made Seth Rollins a main eventer. That match right there was freaking awesome. Glad you're okay with that snow. Yeah, definitely. Oh, to be 25 again. Lauren's 27. It'll look a day over 18, Lauren. Just kidding. Yeah, I'm at that age where I'm like, no more ages. I'll stay 25 forever. If anybody ever heard of the story of Tuck Everlasting, it's a book I had to read for before I was in 6th grade in the summer. There was in that book, this one family drank from some spring and made you live forever. I'll drink from the spring and be 25 forever. Seriously, I don't want to be any older, guys. The fact that I'm going to be 30 in less than 5 years scares the hell out of me. Larry says, I wish you so much luck. Just the best for your interview. Yeah, I know. Larry, after that and well, I have a couple little things doing this week, but I'm going to be focusing on that interview big time this week because I'm not screwing it up. And I actually tried on my suit before I started this review, so looking pretty stunning. I mean, of course, you saw anybody who saw me in that, who saw me do my one corporate intro a couple months ago in a suit. Like that's the same suit I'm going to be wearing for my interview. Thanks, Mike. I look young. LOL. You're sweet. Thank you, Lauren. You're sweet as well. Larry says, when exactly do you have the interview on Monday? 11 a.m. my time. Lauren says, you'll get your job. I hope I do. Again, I do have a job now. I freelance mostly, but it's inconsistent. I'm looking for a little more consistent. I'm still going to freelance on the side, but I'm just, this job is going to be only part-time. At least it's going to have me a consistent income coming in. Anyways, but yes, thank you guys for your support as always in the live chat. But again, Larry, you're right. Being 25 has felt refreshing and a blessing in disguise. It's just, again, some of the crap I went through the past year. Again, nothing bad. I wasn't like, wanting to jump out a window like that, but it was just rough and just me trying to, figure some things out. But being 25 again, I'm refreshed. Just feel like I can start over anew. But let's get back to this stream because I do have only about 45 minutes left. But so I probably have to get going. But guys, again, you're awesome as always. If I ever say that enough. But let's do my final two for my top 10 dream matches. My number two, of course, Lauren predicted that my number one was AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, which again will be an awesome match when it happens on pay-per-view. Samoa Joe and Daniel Bryan also would be an awesome match when it happens on pay-per-view. That's an honorable mention there. But there's someone else I actually want to see face AJ Styles more than Daniel Bryan. Of course, again, and we kind of did see a preview for AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan on the SmackDown Live after WrestleMania. But even though this superstar is definitely, again, I made a video on this superstar recently as well as to why the main roster has screwed him up. But still, number two, the match that obviously the biggest reason why Shinsuke Nakamura apparently wanted to come in, and Daniel Bryan himself even pitched the fact that before he had retired, he wanted WWE to clear him so he can face Shinsuke Nakamura when he was rumored to become to WWE. But number two, Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Again, we may have to accept the fact that maybe Shinsuke Nakamura is not ever going to be the same Shinsuke Nakamura as he was in New Japan, or the one on NXT. Excuse me, because again, my biggest thing about Shinsuke Nakamura, as I mentioned in my video I made about recently, is the fact that NXT made him feel like his own unique thing. Like he was not another guy. He was his own thing. He was a mega star, like a god. A Japanese god, pretty much. That's me saying like a lot. That Shinsuke Nakamura made like a Japanese god. Brought him up to the main roster. He's in a lot of random tag matches. They made a mockery out of his English, kind of like what they're doing with Asuka right now. They turned him heel. Yeah, I'll give it. He's had some, good moments as a heel. But now he's the U.S. champion, barely defending the title, and it feels like he's just treating us as a demotion, as a consolation prize for not getting the world title. But I still can't take away from the fact that this is one match that I know these two really want to have. Daniel Bryan and Shinsuke Nakamura. Again, before I thought of, the idea of, obviously, I'm still thinking the title match at WrestleMania 35 needs to be Miz and Daniel Bryan, where Daniel Bryan defeats Miz to win the championship. Again, the run will help elevate the Miz in the main event level, as I feel he's been most deserving to be in. Daniel Bryan as well, getting back that championship that he never lost. He never lost it, guys. He earned that moment. He got WrestleMania 30. He had not a bad defense. He defended in a not a bad match at all against Kane at Extreme Rules 2014. But if it wasn't Miz, I'd be saying Daniel Bryan should be facing Nakamura at next year's WrestleMania. Probably won't happen then. Hey, what this way? It could happen maybe at next year's SummerSlam. Daniel Bryan and Shinsuke Nakamura for a championship. And you know what? I'd be cool if Nakamura won the title then. The match needs to happen. And here's the thing also. Keep in mind, we're talking about Daniel Bryan here, who recently mentioned on an interview that he does not trust WWE creative to make a feud with The Miz be as good as it sounds. And so far, I'd say not bad. I feel like we are starting to get like the higher stakes with this feud as well, going to their match at Super Showdown. But I feel, if Daniel Bryan can make a push for that, I think he could probably make a push to making a match with Shinsuke Nakamura be a 5-star classic. It needs to happen. I know it's what these two want. That's why it's my number 2 on the list. Daniel Bryan and Shinsuke Nakamura at number 2. I'll go back to the live chat after I do my number 1. But first, let me go through numbers 10 to 2 again. Number 10 is Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, I Quit. Number 9 is Aleister Black versus Finn Balor. Number 8 is Asuka versus Kairi Sane. Number 7 is AJ Lee versus Stephanie McMahon. Number 6 is Ricochet versus Montez Ford. Number 5, Sasha Banks versus Trish Stratus. Number 4, Mustafa Ali versus Shawn Michaels. Number 3, The Rock versus heel Roman Reigns with no bullcrap of I respect you at the end of this feud. You hear me, Vince? None at all whatsoever. Number 2, Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura. My number 1 obviously involves AJ Styles. Now, I think Lauren mentioned it earlier, but I didn't say it out loud because I didn't want to give it away. Obviously, I would love to see AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan a pay-per-view match. Finn Balor and AJ Styles, again, they had it at TLC last year, but obviously it was a great match for a B pay-per-view. I know those two put on a WrestleMania-worthy match. That obviously AJ Styles and Randy Orton I want to see. AJ Styles and Roman Reigns, even again, I wouldn't mind seeing. With AJ Styles having an even more improved character than he had when he feuded. Because their feud in 2016 I liked, but he's on another level from that. And so many others. And of course, AJ Styles and Shawn Michaels obviously is probably the biggest dream match that everybody has. Like, if Shawn Michaels comes back, the number one person people want him to see him fight is AJ Styles. But to me, the one guy that I could say I think out of everyone that I want to see AJ Styles face the most is Seth Rollins. My number 1 is AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins. I've wanted to see that match happen ever since I saw that WWE 24 special on Seth Rollins' journey back from his knee injury. They showed them highlights of the match that Rollins had with Styles when Rollins was just a 19-year-old kid while he was wrestling as Tyler Black. Afterwards, Styles got on a microphone and really put over how good he thought Rollins was at 19. He took him out to dinner or whatnot. They can explore that history again. It could be have a face or heel dynamic, and they could also have a or just a baby face, or whatever it was. Just them two being themselves, having that history going back there. Even treating it as a dream match. These two want to bring out the best or whatnot. They can go so many routes with the story. But, Seth Rollins obviously has had, last year was him just, trying to, put the pieces of the puzzle back together with his relationships with some people. Now, this year, since he's has already done that, this year he's trying to get himself back on track and being back to the main event and wanting to be back on top where he feels he belongs and making Monday Night Raw, Monday Night Raw. Of course, you go to SmackDown Live, of course, then you do the same thing too and tear it up on there. But Seth Rollins has built himself back up to a main event level. And, my opinion, maybe top 5 for Superstar of the Year this year, I feel, in my opinion, even though he's being treated as Roman's crony right now. But still, that's a match that needs to happen. Here's the thing, even if AJ Styles is not champion by WrestleMania 35, people say he have Styles and Orton next year at WrestleMania 35. I'd be cool with that. But if not, maybe have a Raw versus SmackDown match. AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins. Again, the history is there. Going back to that match again when Seth Rollins was 19 years old and he wrestled Styles. And he lost the match, but he impressed AJ in the match. Again, ever since I saw that part, I'm like, boom, dream match there one day. I want to see that. I don't know. Now, again, if I would have done this list with including people's names multiple times in this list, I don't think this would have been my number 1. But again, I want to put a variety of names on this list. So that's why this match I feel is my number 1. Again, with Daniel Bryan and Shinsuke Nakamura, it's what they want. But of course, I worry with the booking of Nakamura on the main roster that it may not be as good as we expected. But a match that I do think that can tear the house down more is definitely AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins. That, my friends, is a WrestleMania-worthy main event. But guys, with that is my list. I will go through the list one more time, check the live chat. I'm checking out of here because I got to apparently take another way now to get to my friend's house for 7:30, even though it's only going to be about 25, 30 minutes to get there without traffic. But again, different route as well. Anyway, so let's go over this list one more time. I'll check the live chat one more time, and then I gotta check out of here. So my number 10 is Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Number 9, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in an I Quit match. Number 9, Aleister Black versus Finn Balor. Number 8 is Asuka versus Kairi Sane. Number 7 is AJ Lee versus Stephanie McMahon. Number 6 is Ricochet versus Montez Ford. Number 5, Sasha Banks versus Trish Stratus. Number 4, Mustafa Ali versus Shawn Michaels. Number 3, The Rock versus heel Roman Reigns. Number 2, Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And number 1, AJ Styles versus Seth freaking Rollins. Live chat, what's going on here? And then I will have to check out. Let's see here. Where do we get there? Let's see here. I think we're right here. I'm surprised you didn't have any Cena, Taker, Rollins, and Orton matches here, as well as Becky. Oh well. Sorry about that. I mean, like Cena versus Joe. I think of all matches I want to see Cena have, my honorable mention would be Cena versus Joe. That one. Orton and Styles definitely an honorable mention. Orton and Aleister Black is definitely another one I want to see. Orton and Finn Balor, a couple of them. Yeah, Becky Lynch. I'm trying to think which one. Becky and Bayley, maybe I want to see happen. Becky and Asuka for sure. I want to see Becky and Charlotte with a stipulation. Welcome to the United States of Knock America. Oh goodness, I'd rather have that though than Mex America with Alberto Del Rio. Oh my goodness. Yeah, by the way, also, I know nobody's probably watching this who did, but I commented on a tweet that someone tweeted about how much of a jerk Del Rio is, and I said something there. I remember what I said, but I got almost like 20 likes on that tweet. So thank you guys again for liking that tweet also. Nakamura and Bryan would be great if he was NXT Nakamura. I agree. Lauren still feels that Nakamura should defeat Styles at Mania, to be honest. I mean, that probably was going to be his big moment. But again, I feel like, keeping a title on Styles still kind of the same, was kind of all right, because I still feel even though Nakamura won the Rumble, they still have not built him up to being a good champion. That's why I was okay with Styles winning. But I definitely agree that if built up right, that should have been Shinsuke Nakamura's moment. So I thought what was going to happen was Nakamura was going to win the match. Styles shakes his hand out of respect, pretty much a passing the torch moment. Styles is passing on the house that he built, and he moves on to Monday Night Raw to get some fresh opponents on there. That's what I thought was going to happen with WrestleMania. But again, since they didn't build it, again, my thought was they should have had Nakamura face a heel Randy Orton at Fastlane with Nakamura's number one contendership on the line. Not have Nakamura versus Rusev. Like, why? Like, what did that accomplish? Like, at that time, Rusev was not was still being booked pretty bad. How was that going to help Nakamura? They literally were lazy in the build for Nakamura and Styles for WrestleMania 34. But again, I agree. It should have been Nakamura's moment, but they didn't build him up to be a reasonable champion at the time. I think so. WrestleMania title at 35 should be Bryan versus Miz versus Nakamura versus Styles versus Jeff versus Orton. That'd be a big multi-man match, not bad. She'd be happy to see Styles versus Bryan. Larry says wouldn't trust him as well. Bryan hates to be creative. Don't blame him. Exactly. And I give him all props for having the balls to mention that. Creative? What is that? Yeah, I'm sure a lot of us aren't aware of that. It is. I'm sorry. Lauren has not been impressed with the Bryan and Miz feud. That's fine. She still thinks that Bryan versus Styles was number one. It was not. Heel, the way you said heel. Heel. Lauren's Mania card for 35 is Styles versus Cena versus Bryan versus Styles versus Cena versus Bryan versus Cena. Is John Cena having two identities here all of a sudden? Rollins versus Ambrose. Again, yes, definitely. I was going to put that on the list here. 3 stages of hell between them two. But again, I had Rollins and Styles, though, be my number one. So that's why I didn't put Ambrose on the list for that. Becky versus Charlotte versus Leah versus Trish. Bellas and Iconics. Nakamura and Bryan. Roman versus Dean. Shield triple threat. Nice. Let's Larry says it hurts to say, Mike, but I refuse to call them the Shield now. They're not. And you know what? I agree. They're not the Shield. They're Roman's pound puppies, or whatever TN Couponer called them recently. I agree. I completely agree. They're not what the Shield were. Triple H and Stephanie versus AJ and Punk. Awesome. Sasha versus Bayley. They would book that right. Mickey versus Ronda would be good. Styles and Orton, I like to see that. Rollins and Styles. Taker versus Cena. Good picks there. Oh, he calls them Roman's agenda now. I like that. Larry likes my number one. Batista versus Triple H needs to happen. Cena and Orton with the roles reversed, please. HBK versus Styles. Charlotte and Ronda, we should be seeing that sometime next year. Sasha and Becky won't be bad either. Asuka number one. Great list. One of my favorite all-time streams by you. Go enjoy your dinner. See you Monday. Thank you, Lauren. You guys are awesome again. So between the live chat. Lita versus Becky as well would be good. Have a beautiful weekend, y'all. Eat the food you want, play cool video games, watch nice wrestling videos. Just do what rocks your world. Exactly, Larry. She meant to say Brian versus Cena versus Orton versus Styles. That would be a stacked fatal four-way. I agree. Hope you won't be late, Mike. I won't be late. One last time, please. Gonna cry? we gotta get Peter Parker's face correct too. Like, look at little Flair Jr. Gonna cry? It just reminds me of the face also, like my dad and I, like my dad and I, we have a great father-son relationship. But of course, sometimes we just trash each other and just sort of like, what the hell do you want, pretty much? Or we get each other like, think you're pretty tough? You're gonna cry? Like, that's what they reminds of. But yeah, look at little Flair Jr. Gonna cry? But I'm glad you definitely enjoyed that, Larry. I definitely give you the good laugh there. But it sounds like Lauren and Larry are ready to, let me, go do my thing, which, is fine with me. But yeah, I still have probably about 40 minutes till I gotta get ready. So I should leave, or like 35 or whatnot. But yeah, Bold of Eyes. I think there was somebody else, and then of course, King Larry and Lauren, guys, I agree. This has been an awesome live stream. I'm glad I did dream matches again, because when I did the first time, also just Wayne did just read stuff off my phone, and I felt like I could have definitely I feel like it wasn't that productive. So you know what? I'll try it again instead of do my top 10. But I really like this list. I got a different variety of names on there, and I think it's a strong one, pretty much. But yeah, so I think I'm going to wrap it up there. For the rest of this weekend, I may try to, get some videos up here if I can. Topic videos. Maybe I haven't been able to get back to doing Shabs 3000. Only halfway through that game. But when I do get back to it, I'm going to definitely knuckle down on that game, definitely, so I can move on to other video games for his channel as well. Yeah, it has some topic videos for wrestling, of course. Of course, next week, Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, NXT reviews. Now, call me crazy, even though I don't plan on watching the whole thing, but there is some stuff from Super Showdown that does interest me. So maybe, just maybe, I will do a live preview and predictions for Super Showdown next week as well. And I also said, too, with it being October, I'll leave the list on Twitter and maybe reveal it to people who aren't able to follow me on Twitter, don't have a Twitter page at all here on Twitter. Here on YouTube. I will reveal also, which top 10s we'll be doing for October. So they're all going to be based off of, women's topics, since Evolution is going to be in October. But check the live chat one more time. I'll check the original out again. It's spot on. I'll watch the Bella's video. Haven't watched yet your video, but don't expect a comment on it because it would be rated R. Oh gosh. He lost all respect for Brie Bella. The woman had not 1 week without a botch. Just shows she's got to get back and improve that crap. But yes, also check out that video as well. It is a response to Deluxe Man's video he made about the Bellas earlier this week. Again, I keep also putting over, check out the Evolution Bring Match Card if you have not done so, because I want to get my match cards with a lot of views again. Again, why is it that the worst pay-per-views always get the most views on for my match cards? Again, the most views I got on any video on this channel is 40,000 with the from the Roadblock end of the line match card. That's got the most views. Like, why? Like, the most I've ever gone on a WrestleMania match card was like 15 or 14,000. It's either my WrestleMania 31 or 32 one. Like, the first match card I ever made on here for printed match cards was WrestleMania 31. Of course, I made that like 3 months in advance. I did make an updated one, but the music got muted on it, so I took it down, which is ridiculous. Again, just for money. You know, I give credit to all the music I use on this channel. But anyways, but of the ranting there. But yeah, check out those videos as well. She will kill someone soon. It's not right. It's not okay. And I don't get why everyone defends her. I mean, yeah, I get, you know, she, you know, is still a little rusty in the ring. But one, if she's almost, you know, hurting herself that suicide dive, and it's still Liv Morgan, she obviously needs to get back in the ring and just, you know, refresh her craft, definitely, if need be, if that's the case. Again, she's married to one of the best technical wrestlers we got right now, Daniel Bryan. Have him help her out, you know? But of course, you know, I don't give away too much. Make sure you check out that video as well. Again, I'll try to get some stuff up over the weekend, but I have a couple other things going on this weekend, but I'm gonna be really focused on this interview I have Monday. Again, I've been applying to this place how many times over the past 9 months. Again, this is the first interview I've really had in several years, so I'm really looking to not screw this one up. I really want this job. You know, just, you know, I'll try to keep you guys updated of what goes on with this. I know some of you guys are definitely some of my good friends I trust on YouTube. If you guys believe in God or believe in any type of faith, just please pray for me definitely to, you know, put on a good showing for this interview. So I want to focus on that this weekend. You know, they gave me a little thing to prepare for. So I'm going to be preparing for that. Just go still enjoy a weekend. Go spend time with friends tonight. Actually, I'm going to dinner with some friends again tomorrow night. But of course, you know, going to be spending most of my time this weekend preparing for this interview. But expect some I've tried to do a couple of videos over the weekend, but if not, then I'll see you guys Monday for my Raw review. Also, I want to put over this also. If you have not done so yet, please listen to Tommaso Ciampa's new theme music. I just downloaded it on my phone. I literally have listened to it nonstop. Any drive I've done over the past 24 hours, whether it's to my friend's house, whether it's driving my sister's friend to school today, and we driving in, you know, God knows where I'm going to be going soon to get to my friend's house. But just please, it's awesome. But yeah, guys, again, Lauren, Larry, Bull Eyes, everybody else, thank you for everything. Do your thing and rock the interview. We all, you know, you will do it. Thank you guys again for all support. Again, it's just, you know, it's definitely been, you know, just something I've been trying to do for months. And again, you know, I thank you guys all for your support as always. You guys are awesome. But I gotta go now, because thank you guys again. If you have any other dream matches that were not mentioned in this video, or that you think we would like to see, leave them down in the comment section below. As always, be sure to click my like and subscribe more content to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAir93. And guys, I'm checking out. I'm gonna go eat some tacos in about an hour or so. So guys, I will see you guys all later. Have a great rest of your night, guys. Have a great Friday. And of course, I will see you guys all in my next video, whenever that is. So until then, guys, take care. Have a great rest of your day. And peace out, everybody.